Some stories don't begin with clarity. They begin in the fog, in the quiet, in the hidden spaces we don't show anyone. Gemma's story started there too. Born in motion, born in chaos, right in the middle of a life already full. But she wrote anyway. She wrote through the fear, through the doubt, through the storms she never saw coming, and alongside the strangers she met along the way. All while holding down a full-time job and building a world that readers now simply cannot put down. This is the moment her story steps into the light. My name is Matthew Gray. I want to welcome you to 50 Tastes of Gray. What's the most British thing you've done this week?
This week? Friday last week I went out for afternoon tea.
Ah, okay. Now, tell me what the perfect afternoon tea is for a Brit versus an American who's being a tourist and all that.
Okay, so a pot of tea, naturally, and then your food needs to be served on a cake stand. You have a layer of finger sandwiches cooked very delicately. You have a layer of individual cakes and then always scones.
Is there a particular one of those foods that you'll dive into first?
I have to do the savoury first. I do have a sweet tooth, but it needs to always be savoury.
Okay.
Then I'll go on to the mini cakes. Not be able to finish them all because I want to leave room for the scone.
It would be the savory, then the sweet, and then the scone would be the last thing?
It would, yes. And the scone is with strawberry jam and clotted cream.
Oh, that sounds so delicious.
Yes.
Do you do much cooking yourself at home, Gemma?
I do. I share it with my husband. We both like to cook. We like to cook from scratch where we can. Tend to have a cheap meal of a weekend if we've been busy. But we do like fresh cooking.
What might be something you would cook on a typical basis?
Typical basis. Traditional like casseroles and stews, shepherd's pie. Tonight we had a lovely tuna steak with potatoes and vegetables.
So Gemma, if I were to fly you here tomorrow, and you wouldn't have to bring your kids or your husband or friends, you just come on out here, what would be the first thing you'd want to do here in Hawaii?
Visit the ocean.
The ocean. Are you much of a beach girl?
I love the beach, yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm not someone that can sit and lie out for a long time. I like to do things, be active and explore or swim.
So you're not someone who just wants to sit on the beach. You want to go and do stuff and be active in the water?
Yeah. Well, I sit for a while. I do like to sit feet up and read, but I couldn't spend all day doing that. Probably not even half a day. I get antsy and want to do something.
Right, right. What part of England are you in now?
Now I'm in the Midlands, so right in the centre, quite close to Nottingham.
I've been an Anglophile my entire life. Do you have people there who love America and our culture and all of our kitsch and stuff like that? And what's the word for that?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, neither do I. I don't think I've ever heard it.
No, my brother and sister-in-law are huge American fans. They're very big into the Western cowboy scene.
I had a feeling. People dig the cowboys, don't they? The whole John Wayne cowboy thing.
Yes. So they had an amazing cowboy sort of themed wedding. So under the beautiful white wedding gown, my sister-in-law wore, she had the cowboy boots on. It was a beautiful English hotel that they had the ceremony in, and then afterwards they had a teepee in the garden.
Oh well, so they did both the cowboy and the Indian part of it.
Yeah.
Wow, because they go together, right?
They do.
And when was that? When did they do that?
That was about 13 years ago now.
Did they have to get a special kind of a party planner or event planner to be able to pull that off?
I think they did it themselves.
No kidding.
Sister-in-law's quite good at organising things and tying things in and bringing themes together.
Wow. You're a first-time author, is that correct?
I am, yeah.
I was reading your bio, and I see that you're a mother, you're an observer, you're a maker. When did you first grow into being able to do the creative things in your life?
Oh, so the creator came first. I have always been very big into art. So from leaving college, I started off my career as an illustrator. I worked in an art studio and I illustrated picture books for quite a few years. Then when I had my first son, I left to look after him, and I was doing bits from home, working in the evenings, and from there I decided I'd like to start writing. And I started writing picture books because that's where my brain was, that's what I was doing every day and what I was used to. So I launched a small series of picture books, which was a lot easier to do having had a child. You can see it through their eyes, and they...
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, they see it completely different to you do. As someone without children, to then having a child changed what I wanted to put in pictures, how much detail to go into. So yeah, so I wrote and illustrated a set of picture books, which I self-published. And then, yeah, I think always thought about writing a novel, and I wonder, can I do it? Can I do something that long? You always kind of think, well, I don't have the time, I'm busy, I'm working, I've got the children. And it wasn't until, a few years ago, and I was just coming up to, I just turned 39, and it was like, oh, I'm going to be 40 next year, this is huge.
Right.
What do I do? And I was thinking, how can I make this less scary? And I wrote a list of 40 things to do before my 40th birthday.
Oh, wow. And you did this at 39?
I did this at 39.
Wow, so you're really kicking yourself in the butt there to get things done.
Yeah. I had a little less than a year, and I put write a novel on it, because if it's on the list, I have to do it. And I did it. I made the time. Did a whole lot of other pretty cool things. I mean, not all as big and time consuming as that. There were a lot of silly little things as well. Some challenges, some silly bits, but so much fun. I would recommend to anyone to do that. It was the best year of my life, going through this list and kind of getting out of your comfort zone, forcing yourself to do what you wouldn't normally do, and taking that bit of time for yourself.
What are some of the other things that you asked yourself to take care of before you turned 40?
Some of the bigger ones, I had swimming with sharks, which was one of my most favourite ones. That was amazing. We were on honeymoon in the Maldives, and they just take you out into the middle of the ocean on this boat, and you are just free swimming with a snorkel. This group of sharks swimming with you, inches from you, and they were bigger than me, and it was incredible, really incredible.
So you were there in the water with them, not in a cage?
Not in a cage.
Oh my gosh, weren't you scared?
Yes. But it was amazing. I mean, we were told they were safe. It was, I think, excitement and adrenaline took over. The only time it did get scary was, so we're in a group and you're snorkeling, so you're face down, watching this group of sharks swim around, and I think I popped my head up and realised that the rest of my group were quite far away from me now, and it was kind of like, oh, I've been separated from, have I been separated from the group now? Have I been singled out? They're gonna...
Oh, yeah. You know, being lunch for a shark would not be any fun.
No.
But you did it. You fought through that, and you were able to pull that off.
Yeah. I got myself back in the group and had a brilliant time.
Wow.
Yeah.
The novel that you've written has a little bit of isolation energy, right?
Yeah.
Tell me, what's the kind of isolation you actually crave? Because you're going to write about that. There must be something about that you dig.
I think the whole going away to a writer's retreat, kind of squirreling yourself away just to immerse yourself, is quite nice. So I suppose there was that part of it in the story. Mm-hmm.
Is there a part of your life that's really quiet in real life, but when it appears on the page, it actually is much louder?
There's not much quiet in my life. I've got 2 boys.
Oh, what are their ages?
16 and 12.
Okay, so yeah, they're probably keeping you very busy.
They're very busy, they're very loud, they're very much into their football and their sports.
You go to all their games, or as many as you can?
I go to what I can, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And what does hubby do? Does he take care of the boys during the day when you're being an office manager?
Yeah, so he works from home most of the time. To be fair, in the day they take care of themselves, they get themselves to and from school. So it's just afterwards driving them to different clubs and cooking dinner.
You know, I was wondering, culturally speaking, in the UK, is it fairly easy to allow your kids to just go do their lives and walk to school or ride to school without being chaperoned or chauffeured by mommy and daddy? Because here in America, in the past 15, 20 years, people are really scared to let their kids get out of their sight. And so I'm just wondering, culturally,
Okay.
how is it? How is it there?
No, it's fine here. So, so the youngest is 12 and he walks himself to school. The school is only 5 minutes from here. I mean, we can see it from the upstairs of our house. So it's really not that far. He will go out to play of an evening, of a weekend. We have football grounds in the village, and we're quite happy and comfortable with him going to and from there. The oldest one, 16, he can go a bit further now, so he will take a bus into town, and yeah, that's fine.
So you find yourself not really being protective over your boys. If you had a daughter, would you be a little bit more protective, or is it just like everything is pretty easy in the UK for parenting and children?
I think I'd be the same with a daughter. I know my husband wouldn't.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They'll never date.
Yes, there would
Right.
100% be that. You're not dating, you're not wearing that.
Women can really relate to that. You're not wearing that. No way you're going out of the house with that on. And that's something that happens to every woman. Is that something that is that a believable energy that a parent would put out? Is that understandable to you, even though you don't have a daughter?
Yeah, completely understandable. And I know my husband would definitely be like that. I don't think I would as much, having grown up and lived that, but I suppose it depends on the person, doesn't it? So I'm not a drinker. I've never drank alcohol, so I think my parents were probably a little bit more relaxed with me going out, because they didn't have some of the worries that other parents would. You know, I wasn't going out. But,
Right. Well, that's a big thing there in the United Kingdom. It's a big drinking society, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely was when I was growing up. I've heard since that children now are less likely to drink and are more likely to abstain. But I don't know. My son's very keen to.
I've heard that. I've heard that drinking is way down, and also I think that I've read in the past year or two that sex is way down amongst young people, surely differently than your generation or my generation. And I wonder why that is. What do you think, if you were to take a deep dive on that?
I don't know. I'm not sure, because I can only kind of tell from my boys. And I know the eldest is very keen to start drinking. He is allowed at home, where we can kind of monitor. Because obviously we can drink a lot younger here.
Your older boy, he can have friends over to the house and they can get blitzed as long as you're around to watch over them. You're a good mom. Right.
Yeah, there's a limit to it. They can have a couple of beers and that's fine.
Oh, that's good. You're a cool mom, it sounds like. Yeah, but tell me about this storm. I want to know what storm you were in when you wrote the storm. Now that you're an author yourself, tell me where the story began, how long you sat with it and developed it. And what is that storm? What was that storm internally for you?
Where do I start? I'm a big Agatha Christie fan. I like the locked room murder mystery. So that seemed a very good place to start. This is what I like. I have to write one. So we'll begin with that. And I think then location came into play, because if you're doing that kind of thing, you need to isolate everybody, which is getting harder to do now. You know, we're so connected.
Right.
But the Lake District, with its natural peaks and valleys, genuinely does have these blind spots, and you don't get any phone signal, you don't get any Wi-Fi. It's just these little black pockets. So location was very simple. This is where I'm going to set it. This is where I need to get her. And the roads in the roads are so small. The roads are, it's two-way traffic, but they're single tracks with passing places.
Yeah.
You know, if you get a landslide, if you get an accident, it is a hell of a long way to get round. If there even is another way around, there's no major roads.
And so isolating the people in that part of the world was easy for you to do, but what was the actual storm within you when you were writing it? Like, how did you set that up?
So I needed to move her away from that. I had to have her in a sort of turmoil to make her move and separate herself. So
Right.
for Lizzie, she was in a controlling relationship, and her boyfriend was putting a lot of pressure on her to commit, and she just wasn't sure whether she was ready for that. So that was her internal battle, and she decided, I need some space. I need some space to think about this, to decide what I'm going to do. She tells him she's going on this writer's retreat, so he doesn't come, and she purposely picks this hotel in this black spot that has no signal, no contact with the outside world, because then he can't contact her. She gets her space, and she can figure it out. But it is a thriller, so that's where it all goes wrong. And she's very soon trapped in this hotel by the storm, which takes out the only road in or out, and a body turns up. And very soon it's not the only one, and the guests there's rising suspicion between all the guests, and we start to hear a little bit of their stories and what brought them there and what they're going through.
So it sounds like a multi-layered murder mystery.
Yes, it is.
And Lizzie is the main character. We don't want to do too much on this because we don't want to offer up spoilers to anybody.
Yeah.
But Lizzie being the main character, how much of you is in the main character, Lizzie?
I did put myself in her shoes quite a bit to determine how she would react to things and what she would do. It was quite funny when I was telling the setup to my husband, and I was like, right, she's a writer and she does this and she does this. It's not me, because
likely story.
Yeah, but then I was saying she's a writer and she's been on this writing retreat and she has a controlling boyfriend. It's not me. This is not you. You're not like that. But quite funny, when he read it, he was picturing me and hearing it in my voice. And a couple of my friends have also said when they're reading it, Lizzie is me, because they know I wrote it and they're picturing me acting it out. They're picturing me saying it. So I guess it must be quite close how she reacts for them, for it to work like that for them.
Are the characters in that story going through a storm? Is there a storm while they're being all isolated and people are turning up dead inside the mansion or the cottage?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So it wasn't just like an emotional storm, it was an actual weather.
There's an actual physical storm.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so the storm hits, it causes a landslide, which then takes the road out. The storm lasts for several days. It takes down the landline in the hotel, which is the final, yeah.
And does Lizzie, the character, does she figure it all out when we come near the end? Or is that something we shouldn't divulge right now?
She does figure it out, yes. She has many theories, which she works through. But yeah, she does figure it out.
Give me an adjective that might describe the storm. Is it creepy? Is it scary? Is it clever? Is it spy? Is it savvy? It's like, give me the adjective that really fits it if you were to choose one.
It's definitely creepy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Is this something that was purely out of your imagination, or is it something that maybe you knew about or heard about or experienced?
It was out from my imagination. So the setting, the Lake District, is an area we visit, but all the rest is fictional. It's a made-up hotel. All the people are fictional. I don't think I based them on anyone. Yeah.
Well, that's unusual. Usually characters will follow along a thread that might have to do with someone's past, and they can put that person into that character, but you're saying you just develop new characters almost for everyone?
I think mostly, yeah, the guests were fictional. I think Lizzie's boyfriend stems from an ex, slightly. I did date a guy who was a little bit obsessive and controlling, but it didn't last long because I wasn't I wasn't happy with that. I wasn't putting up with that. No. So I think I probably used that and grew from it, and exaggerated it maybe a bit, because obviously Lizzie and Luke were dating a lot longer than, we maybe a month or two before I saw what he was like, and like, no, not for me.
Lizzie and Luke, the boyfriend that she's running away from, don't really live out a happily ever after scenario, do they?
They don't know.
And does any time during the time that Lizzie is inside the storm, inside the murder mystery location, does Luke come to try to rescue her, or to capture her, or to bring her back home, or something like that?
I'm going to have to leave that one to the readers.
Okay.
Because I don't think I can answer that without giving a spoiler.
Now, everyone uses certain kind of devices when they're writing about stuff. Why did you need a contained space to tell this story? Does it just add to the creep factor?
I think it helped build the tension that everyone was trapped. You've got a very closed cast of characters. It's one of them, and it's fun to explore them and dive a little deeper into all of them, and gradually things are revealed that I think it just adds to the tension that they are trapped and isolated.
No one wants that, right?
No.
So do you lean towards murder mysteries, horror, and things like that in your world when you want to choose entertainment for yourself?
Definitely. I've always read from the thriller genre. I'm big into, I think most things that I watch on TV, film and made for TV, they are all thrillers, they are detective, they are, someone's been murdered, yeah.
So you lean towards the Agatha Christie, like you mentioned earlier, and Sherlock Holmes type of stories and things like that. Yeah, same here. Now, I want to talk about being an author, a first-time author. When did The Storm come out?
It was released last year in June.
And so when you go out on a book tour, Gemma, do you practice your signature ahead of time? Now that you're a new author, did you have to practice that whole thing?
Yes.
Yeah? So describe to us what that's like.
It's very odd, because you don't want to do your real signature that you're signing to your bank account. You have to have your author signature. So yeah, you're sat there feeling very silly, just signing your name over and over to try and get it right, so it looks right, so you can read it. My handwriting's quite neat, and I always wish it was more flowing. When I meet authors and I get them to sign books for me, they have beautiful handwriting, and it's so scripted. So I did lots of practicing trying to get it a little bit freer and flowing.
So that probably develops over time.
Probably, yeah.
So what's the face-to-face like when you're doing a book signing and someone comes up and they're holding your book and they're all happy that they're getting to meet the author? What's that energy like? What does that feel like for you?
I love it. I get nervous ahead of time, like of an event. Is anyone going to be there? Is it going to be embarrassing because only one person's turned up, or is it going to be? Am I going to get really nervous because there's a whole room of people? But as soon as you get in there, it's fine. Nerves turn to excitement, and it's so lovely to meet people that have come to meet me, and they've read my book and they like it, or they've just picked it up that day because they've read the back and it sounds good, and it's a really lovely, heartwarming experience.
And as a first-time novelist, are you connected to a publisher who's done this, or is it a self-published book?
I'm with a publisher. I'm with Carter Davis. They publish for me, yeah.
And do they set you up on the book tour as well and send you out and say, okay, you'll be here and here and here, and then Barnes & Noble then, and then that kind of thing?
So I haven't done in-person book tour. We do a virtual book tour where the books are sent out to different readers. I've done different book clubs. I've appeared at and done readings, but I haven't done the traditional book tour yet, where you travel around.
That will be fun.
I would love to do that. Yeah, I think I probably need to become a bit more popular first, a bit more well known. Still early days.
Yeah, right, exactly. So, are you doing a lot of shows these days, podcasts and television?
I've got a couple of podcasts. lined up. Last week I did a magazine interview.
Oh, nice.
I'm appearing in York end of next month to help launch Prime Reading Month in the UK.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be, I think there's a group of us, we're going to do a talk and a reading, so that'll be fun.
Crime Reading Month, is that an ongoing type of celebration of those kinds of books and writers?
Yeah, it's every June, Crime Readers Month.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's UK only. I'm not sure.
Wow. Oh, that's exciting. So has it been all that you thought it would be, now being the first-time novelist, and now that you're racking up more energy and thoughts about the number 2 book?
Yes, it's been brilliant. It's definitely met expectations and probably exceeded them. Yeah.
Is part of your dream to not be an office manager maybe this time next year?
Oh, that's hard because it's a family business. I think I would always do that and be part of it, but I don't know, maybe cut the hours down, allow a bit more writing.
Right. I want to do confession time, and I'll start, but I just want to try this with you. It's a little something that I'm experimenting with here. It's called the confessional. I'd go first so I can set the temperature for you. When I lived in London, yeah, I know it is scary, but I know that you dig scary stuff. So
I do. So yeah,
I used to travel with rock and roll bands, and then I went to London to go to school, like Cordon Bleu, to become a chef and to get the best possible training. And so I was there for about 3 years. And when I lived in London, there was a period when I was convinced that I was going to marry a British girl and live above a bakery and run that and bake bread and take care of all the villagers and so on. And so I still think that version of me exists somewhere, but now we're like 40 years later. So, it's probably not going to happen. I don't know if that's like a really worthy confession, but it was just something that was going through my head, and it fit with you and your location, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right? Okay, your turn. What would you like to discuss that you've not said recently, maybe on a show or otherwise? Big, small, weird, delicious, whatever feels true.
Whenever I'm doing a fight or an escape scene, I will always act it out at home.
Okay.
So I will be stood in my office doing the fight moves so I can describe it. And if there's an escape escape element to the story, I will get my family to restrain me. So I've been tied to chairs. I've been gaffer taped. It's
time to waterboard mom.
Yeah, because I like to know that it's realistic and it can be done. So yeah, I will put myself in these positions and act it out, and my family are only too happy to tie me up and leave me.
Right. Oh, that's kind of fun. I never heard that before. That's fun.
Yeah.
So did they ever just tie you up and say, okay, I'll see you in a little bit, Mom?
Yeah. So there was one time I was working on a book, and it was only me and the youngest in the house, and I wanted to be taped to a chair. And so I asked him, and he was very much up for it. And I said, right, well, we're going to start small, so we'll start with masking tape. So he did that, and I could get out fine. I said, okay, let's ramp it up. We'll go to parcel tape, and that was fine. I said, okay, it's time for the gaffer tape. And he taped me to the chair and then said, okay, I'm going out now, bye.
Oh, right. And did you start to freak out a little bit?
And then, yeah, because, gaffer tape, if I can't get out of this, I could be stuck for a long time until my husband comes home from work. He'd gone out that day. So yeah, until one of them comes home. But it was fine. Luckily, I did get out, and I was able to write that in the story. And that one is in book 2.
Right. But tape is like the modern day rope.
Yes, yeah.
Right? I've noticed that in a lot of different things. You'll see, the bad guys always have tape with them.
They do, yeah. Yeah. Or cable ties now.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's I'm seeing that more and more in books and watching shows that they get cable ties out because they're really tough.
Gemma, have you ever hosted a show?
No, never.
Well, here's your chance. We're going to turn the tables right now, and here's Gemma, everybody. She's going to ask me a couple of questions that she's never asked anyone before, or maybe never asked a host before. So, Gemma, you're in charge now. I'm your guest. Go ahead and
Fabulous.
have at me.
Well, I'm very interested now. I've heard your confession about your cooking and coming over here to do that. And so, what did that lead to?
Well, after school in London, I went back to Los Angeles and I started cooking for people in the industry, rock and roll, and also Hollywood. So I cooked for people like Fleetwood Mac and Pink Floyd and Eagles. And I was on tour with them earlier, and I got an agent and I asked them to put me back in touch with the people that I knew of. And so, I cooked for a lot of folks. And so that's where that led to. So I didn't stay in England and marry a British girl and move above a bakery. But I came to LA and started doing the cooking and all that.
What an amazing story. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. My entire life has pretty much been that.
Yeah? Oh, you've met some amazing people then.
I have. I've really been fortunate in that I've met some great people in sports and Hollywood acting industry and, of course, music and art and so on. So I've always tried to surround myself with people like that. And it just so happens everyone loves to eat. Being a chef, I can gain access to those folks.
Okay, so favorite dish to cook?
It would depend on who I'm cooking for. If it's for myself, it's obviously clearly simple. But if it's for someone else I'm trying to impress, I'll try to make something that I know that they love.
Like that.
Well, you are a damn good hostess.
Thank you.
It wasn't too probing. I was going, oh my God, what's Gemma going to ask me? But you made it easy on me. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So now I want to do an impromptu promo. I'd love for you to create a little bit of dialogue that later on today or tomorrow morning when your best friend contacts you, she texts you or calls you and she says, so what was it like being on the show with Matthew? What was 50 Tastes of Grey like? What did you guys talk about? Was it fun? Tell me what you would tell her so people who are watching this will want to look at the show.
Oh, well, first off, you are a brilliant host that's so easy to talk to. I've had having a lot of fun chatting with you and being for conversation. We've covered food and the book, and we've gone into writing and challenges and being 40 and pushing yourself and Hollywood.
I hope that you had a good time today talking about the storm and giving us a little bit of a reveal on Gemma's internal life and family. I hope you had a good time.
Absolutely.
Yeah? Where would people be able to pick up The Storm?
You should be able to find it wherever you normally buy your book.
I've noticed that you have a pretty active social media type of life. Yeah. Can people check you out on one of your platforms?
They can, yes. So if you search for Gemma Denham, I'm most active on X and Instagram, but I'm also on Facebook as well.
What do you find appealing about X? Because from what I've heard, I'm not really on it at all. It's kind of despicable and political and all of those. Is that what you love about it?
Yeah, there's a lot of love for when it was Twitter. And a lot of people left when it became X, which was quite sad because I did very much enjoy it. And a shame because my posts seem to do better on X than elsewhere. I connect with a lot of fellow writers and readers, creatives, which does help to keep the politics out. It does sneak in.
Yeah.
But yeah, Instagram is more colourful and fun. And you can have more fun playing with it because you've got the stories, it's all visual. So yeah, you can be a little bit more creative.
Right. Well, Gemma, it was a blast having you on 50 Tastes of Grey. I'd love for you to say aloha to everyone.
Aloha, everyone.